your personal meat man, butcher, straight from the butcher shop, actually, tonight, Ray Rastelli, who is celebrating 5 years at QVC. Happy anniversary, Ray. This is one of the very first things he ever brought to us back in 2016, the Everything Steak. This is a delicious 6-ounce sirloin steak, which you can choose a set of 10 or a set of 20. We have one choice that's already sold out, but altogether 108,000 orders have been placed today since we made this available. So you can no longer get the 20 count that ships out on February 16th. So what we have remaining is the both counts, 10 or 20 for the immediate ship, and you can still get the 10 count for February 16th, but the immediate ship has been very, very popular. I will tell you that you will save, if you get the set of 20 with only that one ship date remaining, you will save $29 on the set of 20. Now, here comes the choice breakdown on your screen so you can understand what the choices are. So 10 or 20, immediate or February 15th. And we also have auto delivery on all 4 of those choices. However, as I said, the set of 20 the week of February 15th is already sold out. And you get free shipping and handling, of course, as well. So what these are, first of all, in just 2 years, Ray Rastelli and his company have become the #1 selling food brand here at QVC. We have a lot of great food here. They are #1, and it didn't take them long to get there because their product is outstanding. And this particular collection of steaks is from the Reserve collection. These are premium cut. These are always limited availability. This is a center cut sirloin steak, aged 45 days, hand trimmed. It's very lean, lots of marbling. It's super tender and juicy, and we call it the Everything Steak, as Ray's going to show you when he gets out here in a second, because you can slice this into thin slices, put it on a salad. I probably could cut this with my fork if I wanted to, but look at that delicious steak. It doesn't take long to cook these. They cook up really, really quickly. You can put these in a salad. You can put them in a fajita. You can put them in a taco. You can have just a great steak sandwich with them. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Surf and turf. Absolutely delicious and absolutely no fat. You're going to eat every single ounce, every bite. So let me bring him in, the man of the day, and for the past 5 years, one of our very favorite guys, Ray Rastelli. Welcome, Ray.
Hi, Carolyn, and you're one of my very, very favorite people of all. You know that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, congratulations. Happy anniversary. And we're kind of going back into the vault. Not that we haven't shown these wonderful sirloins in 5 years, but this is the first steak that you ever offered to our customers. And you had already been in business a long time before you came here to QVC, serving up steaks and delicious choice meats to all the finest restaurants around the country. I always like to say, if you think of the most delicious, popular, high-end steak restaurant in your town, they probably get their meat from Ray Rastelli. So let's take a look at some images, right? Oh boy, look at you with Rick.
Oh.
Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I remember that day. That was a very nervous day for me, yes.
Well, we immediately liked you. You know, you're just such a great guy, and you really know about meats, and we've learned so much from you over the years. So tell us what makes this the Everything Steak. I watched a video of you doing so many different things in about 3 minutes with just this one cut of steak. So maybe you can tell the customers.
Yes, and we've got that video actually on QVC.com. So if you go there, you're going to actually see some of the things I'm going to do here. But this is a Reserve sirloin steak. So it comes from a Reserve collection. What does that mean? Well, that means it's been aged 45 days. Less than 4% of all cattle qualify for this quality of meat. So this goes to only the highest steakhouses, Carolyn. But let me show you what I do with this. This is an entire sirloin. This is what's called a top butt. But what we do is we age this for 45 days. Then we peel the cap off because we don't really want any of that meat. We then peel the inside, which has lots of fat and lots of sinew. And what the result is this: 3 beautiful center cut sirloins. And I want you to look at this, because this is what you're getting. This is whole. This is a large piece, center cut. You'll see no fat, no sinew, no nerves. And what do I do with that? It's really simple. I just take that center cut, I square it up like this, and let me show you what I'm going to give you. I then take these beautiful 6-ounce steaks and I cut them, and this is the steak that you're getting. And what you're going to notice in this steak is a number of things. Number one, look at the beautiful marbling inside there. That marbling is tenderness, is texture, it's meat candy. It's what really makes this Reserve. but what you're not going to see is fat. You're not going to see any fat on this steak at all. And the reason for it, because we've trimmed it all off and we've aged this steak for that 45 days. So this is incredible as a steak by itself. It's large, it's 6 ounces, it's nice and thick, as you can see. Or you can do some of the things that I like to do with it, because I think food should be fun. And actually, because this steak is so lean, it's going to give you 31 grams of protein, believe it or not, and there's no fat on it. So it's really a good, healthy steak, but it's really a steak that you can do lots and lots with.
Oh yeah, and they're so delicious. And can I say too, it's just as a great steak, it's fabulous. And it cooks in no time. I just actually sliced up that one I was cutting and made a couple of delicious steak tacos, or you know, on these thicker sort of chalupa type of pitas. They're so good. So let's talk about how it's gonna come and how we're gonna prepare these. So each one is cryovac sealed, just like this.
Yes.
So they're gonna come in that reserve black Rastelli's box. There's always a nice little note from Ray in there, and you're actually going to get this card that he explains all the different ways, ideas that he has for you to do with these steaks. You can certainly come up with lots of your own as well, but that card is right in the box, and on this side, air fryer to grill, how to prepare the perfect steak. This is totally goof proof. So they're going to come in that black Rastelli's box. If you don't have room in your freezer, take them out of the box, save this in your recipe book, and just put the steaks in the freezer. They're going to stay nice and safe in those individual packagings. And you're also getting a packet of the seasoning, one with the 10, two with the 20. Ray, hang on a sec. I want to update everybody on what we've got. Okay, Erica, what's going on? Over 108,000 now ordered today. In the 10 count, which is right here, in the immediate ship, that is the most popular. We have only 4,000 left to go around. If you want the 10 count that's shipping out February 15th, there's 2,600 left. Now, we only have one choice left in the 20 count. That's the immediate ship date. And we only have 1,200 to go around. And that is, if you're going to get all 20 of these, that is a $29 stock up and save price. If you want auto delivery, it's a great opportunity to lock in today's anniversary price that Ray's offering to you, and that will ship every 90 days for 2 years. Don't worry if you're not going to eat them that fast. If it's just the one or the two of you, they'll stay in your freezer for a year, and you can postpone a shipment as often as you like. But just imagine every 90 days you're going to have these coming for Easter time. You're going to have them coming for Memorial Day. You're going to have them coming for the 4th of July. You're going to have them coming for Labor Day and into the fall, into the holidays. You're guaranteed to get your everything steaks, these delicious 6-ounce sirloins from the Reserve collection from Rastelli's, even if we can't get them here ourselves. Okay, Ray, back to you, my friend. I love that you're in your butcher shop tonight.
Yes, you know, and I'm in my home, because that's really, the butcher shop is really where I grew up. And let me show you some of the things. So we were looking at our steak. It's a beautiful steak. It's got no fat on it. It's completely trimmed. But I'm gonna play butcher tonight. I'm gonna actually make a kebab out of this. So all I do is glide my knife right through that, and look what I've got. I've got beautiful cubes, and out of those cubes, I've made an incredible chili. Right? I can make a stew out of it. And of course, over here, I made a kebab, which is really, really simple to do. So now let me show you one of my favorite things to do, because I'm a Philly guy and I love a Philly steak. So as a butcher, I would take my hand right on top and I would just go ahead and slice a nice slice off the bottom, because remember, Philly steak is nice and thin. So you can see how thin I slice that. Right now, you may not be the butcher at home, and you may be afraid to slice it that way, but let me show you a little tip. Take your steak and take a simple saucer cup that you may have at home, right? Coffee cup saucer. Just put that on top of the steak. Put your hand on top of that so you don't have to worry about cutting your hand, and then you just go ahead and go right through your steak like that. So it really protects your hand, but it serves the same purpose. And what do? I've got 2 more steaks out of that I'm actually going to do some things with. So what am I going to do with it? Well, Carolyn, I can take this and I can roll it and make a beautiful braciole. I can stuff it with asparagus and cheeses and all types of things. And I've got them here. It's very, very simple to do. And when you do those kind of things, you really can get creative, but it's also a great Philly steak. And as a Philly steak, I'm a wit guy, so I love having that wit on my Philly steak.
Oh my gosh. I love that tip. Thank you so much for that, because I'm not really that handy with a knife that I would be able to cut them that thin, but that was a great tip. Showing some serving suggestions here. There's your fantastic cake. Again, happy anniversary. I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
date night with a delicious steak, and you can do, look, if you want to do a twice baked potato and add some starch, that's fine with me. But on that healthy plate, we've got some tomatoes and broccoli. You could do a steak with the salad. You could put the steak on the salad. You could do a little surf and turf. Maybe you're going to add some greenhead lobster. Maybe you're going to add some of the delicious fish we have coming up later in the show. Also from a wonderful Rastelli company. There are multiple ways to serve these steaks. In fact, look out here on our table. Here's some more delicious steak tacos. Here we have chicken fried steak. We've also got a burrito here, or a roll-up. Doesn't that look delicious? Here's those kebabs back here that you were talking about. Just cube these, add some steak to the top of the salad, which I'm going to do in just a second. Here's some delicious salmon and steak, super healthy. And these can cook right up on in your air fryer. All your instructions come with it, right, Ray? Air fryer, oven,
That's right.
grill. You can pan fry them, whatever you're most comfortable with.
So, Carol, you talked about that chicken fried steak. Let me show you how simple that is, right?
Okay.
It looks like it's a lot of work, but it isn't. Remember, just take that steak. Let's put our saucer on top. But when you cut through it, I don't want you to cut all the way through it. And again, all these tips are on the video at QVC. Just cut about 3/4 of the way through. Take your plate, put it aside, and then just open that up. And then take a piece of cellophane right over top. Take your mallet and just go ahead and pound that out. And literally in 5 or 6 seconds, look at what I've got. I have got a chicken fried steak that is the size of Ohio, as you
Wow,
can see.
I
right?
see.
Look at the size of that. And of course, this is it completed. I just dredged it in flour. And look what I've got. This will feed a small family. One steak. So because this is 6 ounces and it is completely trimmed from one end to the other, it's really simple. One more simple tip for you to be a butcher at home when you get your steak: fajitas, tacos, quesadillas, things of that nature. Here's the tip. Always keep your hand away from the knife. So your hand is on this side and you're slicing this way. Remember, this steak has no fat in it. Look how your knife just glides through it.
Yeah.
All of these thin slices, I'm going to be able to make julienne strips. I'm going to be able to make fajitas, tacos, quesadillas, you name it. It's simple, it's fast, but it's fun. And that's what food should be, fun.
And Ray, the other thing I wanted to mention, we're going to talk to Amy in a second, because I think she made these for lunch at her house. The thing about these too is that you might think a small steak like this might be tough. It might have gristle. It might have, you know, pieces you have to cut off, that, you know, fat around the edges. These reserve steaks have none of the above, and they are all hand trimmed and beautifully marbled. They are aged 45 days, and I want you to talk about that in a second too, after we talk to Amy about what benefit that gives me to the flavor of these steaks. But the other thing is they're 6 ounces, which to me is the perfect size, and they take like minutes to cook. I mean, even if you're doing a well done steak, it's just a few minutes. They don't take very long at all. So Amy, tell us about your experience.
Hi, Ray. I'm Amy. We've never met.
Hi,
I think that's
Amy.
crazy
Yeah.
considering how long you've been here, but nice to meet you officially tonight.
Nice to meet you.
And thank you for allowing me to have, you know, a non-traditional lunch today. Not peanut butter and jelly, not grilled cheese, not the turkey sandwich. I honestly never thought that I could have this quality steak in my freezer. And then Steve, my husband, and I decided, let's do like a Mexican steak salad. So we took them out last night before we went to bed. I did romaine and cucumber and tomato, and a beautiful fun chip was crunched all over it. But it was the steak that made my afternoon. And I kid you not, I mean, every piece of the steak was delicious and flavorful, but like you said, Carolyn, there's none of the fat and the gristle. And I just think, you know, when I was little, Ray, I used to tell my mom and dad, I cannot wait till I get to decide what's for dinner every night. Well, now I'm 41 and I realize you can't have chocolate cake for dinner every night. And it's actually a pain in the you-know-what to be the one who has to figure out what's for lunch, what's for breakfast, what's for dinner. And sometimes I just don't feel like going to the grocery store. And I thought to have a delicious steak dinner, it was like you buy it on Monday and you either eat it on Monday or Tuesday. And now I love that it's in my freezer. And, you know, I don't have to rush out to the grocery store to find a great quality restaurant steak. I can walk out and grab it
Right at home.
and cook it up that night for dinner. So thank you. You changed my life.
Thank
So
you.
delicious.
And Amy, one of the things you mentioned about you taking it out of your freezer, you can take this out of your freezer. And when you take it out of your freezer and you put it in your refrigerator to thaw out overnight, let's suppose you and your husband just made plans and you forgot about it, and it's 2 or 3 or 4